number 35. We got something really special on the menu today. We're going to do something from scratch that most people here in America don't do from scratch.
Well, there's a lot of people who do it, you know, but we're going to make fresh linguine, fresh pasta. You know, we could do a spaghetti with the same dough, or you know, any kind of pasta. But we're going to make some kind of linguine today, and we're going to have a sauce with it. Yes. You know, and just a very simple,
straight ahead. We're going to make a sage and butter sauce.
Yes, fantastic.
Yes. Jens has laid out the ingredients already, and it's beautiful. We got a piece of cheese. Guess what is this? Is this pecorino or is this
Parmesan?
Parmesan.
Actually, just a fresh piece of Parmesan.
Yes. And then we're going to have a nice bunch of sage. That stuff's in season right now.
That's fantastic.
You can just go out to the garden and get it. Sage is a wonderful stuff.
It's just amazing, you know how it smells, you know, in the kitchen, just with the sage. It feels so right.
Now we're going to use a whole stick of butter for this whole recipe, but it's not that much as you think. It's a recipe for 4 people, so don't worry about it. 4 eggs, right? About an egg per person.
It's for you know, the tomatoes are here because we just we're going to use them for garnishing, you know, and so a little bit of tomato, something a little fresh on the side. But the pasta, we're going to use 2 different kinds of flours. This is just a white all-purpose flour, and it's 200 grams or a cup and a quarter, and a cup and a quarter of semola flour, which is a little bit of a different flour. It gives a little bit more texture to the dough, and it stays a little more coarse maybe in it. It's hard to describe, but I do it 50-50. Some people do
either 100%, right?
100%, or even they do a 30%, you know, only of the semola. We take 1 egg per person, and we need some pepper and some salt, and we don't need anything else. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Well, this is a real. I would say it's not quite an Italian meal, but it is. But so you know, there's no wine in the food today, and this is not show number 35, right? So I thought, I'm just going to open a little bottle of wine, just have a little sip of it. And then we start off with the pasta. Start off with the pasta, right?
Oh, I prayed for rain in California, so the grapes can grow and they can make more wine. I sit in this honky tonk in Carolina with a broken heart and some pasta on my mind. Let's do the pasta, yeah.
All right, let's do it. So, just gonna, you know, a lot of people would mix the flour and put it on a countertop, but I don't have a marble countertop or very flat. And it's, I don't know, I use this bowl. I just put it in the bowl. Like I said, this is about a cup and a quarter of white flour and a cup and a quarter of semola. And now there's some people put salt in the pasta, but actually I don't think it needs it because the water will be salted. And some people put salt into the pasta, but then no salt into the water. And I don't know which is better. I don't think it needs salt right now. You know, it's fine as it is. I try to put some salt into the water. So I just mixed up the flour a little bit, make a little bit of a hole inside. Put the eggs in here. So I can just start slowly mixing in some of the flour. And now it starts to look like the dough is way too dry. And this is a good moment where I can just sort of of course, I washed my hands and go in. Start making a dough, really. Now it can be that the dough is actually a little bit dry, but not in the moment, you know. I don't want to add anything. Just want to get it. Now it is a little messy, so you don't want to worry about it too much. So if I would have just done it on the countertop, it would have worked, but it just had a much bigger mess.
That's enough of a mess as it is.
It's not bad. It's starting to
No,
look
it's
good.
really very good, yes.
Starting to look good. Now the dough, you have to, how do you say this process?
Knead it?
Knead it. You have to knead it for about 5-6 minutes at least. So you could also take, you know, a KitchenAid or something, you know, that does the job for you. But because you see that it's not uniform yet. It really is not. So I think, see, this is a little bit too dry. So I'm just gonna add just sort of a little bit of water in my hand. Okay. Yes. Just a little bit. The dough should never be too okay now. Actually, once the dough is a little bit more stiff, you can just sort of always roll it forward, turn it forward. My doctor said I should drink more. I do. This looks like this. See, it's nice, starting to be elastic. So it's good, it's fine. All I need to do now is just wrap it in this plastic foil. That works really well. And we just have to let it rest for about a half hour. So we have a half-hour time over there.
You don't put it in the refrigerator?
No,
Okay.
just leave it out here. It's fine. It needs to rest a little. It's fine. All good.
Yeah. Jens, you took the guitar out that Bill gave to you.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be in Canada this weekend, right?
I know, it just didn't work out, you know, because we were unfortunate, you know, we were exposed to people with COVID who developed, you know, the Delta variant, and we just couldn't move around.
Yeah.
Joel didn't feel well this weekend, you know, this week, so it all didn't work out.
We're going to play something on your Canadian guitar.
Well, this is a Larrabee guitar that our dear friend, you know, not just mine, but all our dear friend, you know, Bill Hughes. Many years ago, you know, he has a little house, you know, a nice house on the lake, on Cochilon Lake out in Canada, and we spent many happy hours there. This was this guitar that was always there. And then one day, you know, he just came to me and said, you know what, I'm just going to give you that guitar because you like it so much. And it's been my favorite guitar, you know, really. I mean, I always have it at home. I compose so much on this, you know, I try to play.
I know people, last time you used it, people asked, you know, what you were playing.
Yes, I
think
know.
that's it. Let's play one. Yeah. In the twilight, oh, I see her. Blue eyes crying in the rain. As we kiss goodbye and parted, I knew we'd never meet again. Love is like a dying ember, and only memories remain. Through the ages I remember blue eyes crying in the rain. When we meet again up yonder, we'll stroll hand in hand again through a land that knows no pardon. Eyes crying in the rain. Blue eyes crying in the rain. Now you know why Jens is my favorite guitar player.
You know why you're my favorite singer? And guitar.
That's wonderful. So I'm taking the sage leaves off the stems. I'm not going to do the stems. We're going to keep those. So
You know what? We're just gonna keep
we're going to keep a few nice ones for
a
garnish.
few
Right?
nice. Yeah, absolutely. I think
These are nice here, about 4 of them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. Really good. They're so velvety and sage, is it?
Oh yeah, used to always be my favorite menu in Switzerland. The sage tortellini with sage sauce.
Yeah.
You know, you can in Switzerland we make it with cream.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's a little different than the Italian style that we're going to fix today, but you can experiment if you want it a little bit more runny or a little bit more creamy. Maybe just add some heavy cream, and don't use half and half, because half and half tends to break up because it's got a lot of milk in it.
It's exactly right.
And but heavy cream, just a little bit of heavy cream, you know, a couple of tablespoons.
You know, we
Yes,
talked about this. You know, also a little lemon zest. You know,
Oh, that would
you
be
know,
wonderful, yeah.
helps the a little bit of a shine. You know, to the sage.
And that, when we fry the sage, we're going to put it in butter. We're going to take the butter and melt it. I'm going to put the sage in there. Now you have different degrees of how to do this. I just love to just make the butter a little foamy so that it doesn't get too hot, so it doesn't burn. Because you could take clarified butter, but then you lose a lot of that wonderful flavor. And but if you just take straight a stick of butter, unsalted butter we use for that, then just let it come up to a foaming point, and don't just be careful with the.
Is that enough sage over?
Absolutely.
I think so. You know, it doesn't.
This is very intense. This is very intense. Of course, you can just use dried sage too, but don't use it too sparingly. You just need a lot of it. But then you would not. With the dried sage, it's much better if you use a little bit of cream. I guess that's the reason why we use cream, is because then the sage can develop in the cream, which it probably doesn't as well.
In the butter?
In the butter. It burns easily in the butter, so yeah. Okay. So we have these leaves here. You can just right. It doesn't matter if there's a few bits and pieces left. You don't want it too fine either, because you still want to know what it was.
It's unbelievable, you know.
Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision.
Yes, really.
It's going to be the next thing. Yeah. Well, I don't know really.
No, it's for that.
Okay. So that's for the sage. That's all we need for the sage. I'm going to put it here back in
Yes, that's great.
this little thingy. And then we grate the Parmesan.
Yeah.
You know, on Jens's. Just of this fine.
Yeah, just the worn out thing.
Yeah. I like this because it really makes a nice pile inside. You don't need to put it on top of a plate, or you can just grate the cheese down a little bit. And again, you can, instead of the Parmesan, you can use a Romano, Pecorino.
Yeah.
You can even use any kind of good hard cheese, really.
And of course, you don't have to grind it. You can just buy ground
But
cheese.
yeah, the Galbani that we used last week would be perfect for that as well.
Yes, absolutely.
No, but
Fact is, actually, I forgot to buy
you forgot to buy
grated cheese, and so we had this still in the fridge. So we said, well, it's fine.
I was told yesterday.
It was really something. We were recording in the studio, and I thought, what is that sound?
Wonderful. I love thunderstorms, and that tune shower is just very special.
Yeah, you posted it, last cook show at the end with the orchestra.
Yes,
I had some comments about that. People asking me, what is that?
Those are things that I can use for the cook show, because there's no copyright on those recordings that we made.
Of course,
so that's really nice.
Okay, let's
see.
try a little bit.
We'll see if we can do it without Joel, because he starts with this.
Yes. I think we're ready to do our noodles, and I'm just going to turn the water on and just sort of let this start to heat up. So with the dough, now I'm going to take some flour over here, and I'm going to spread some dough here on the table and open this up. Oh, this feels really good. It feels fantastic. Yeah, sweet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little longer piece, and what I can cut pieces like this, and so I can sort of with my hands sort of so I can take a little bit of flour, just put it on the machine. But now I open this to the full capacity, so it's full. So I let it go through, and then I just can cut it up together like that again. And I'll do that a few times on the largest level. So because it sort of knits it, I'd say knits it, no? Kneads it again. So this is starting to look pretty good. Now I can make it a little thinner. At this point, you don't need to add any flour to it, really. I still am gonna fold it one more time.
How do you change the thickness of it?
Well, there's this little wheel here on the side. You see here, this little wheel, and I got it on 2 right now. And because I'm folding it a few times, it's doing that extra, makes it more smooth. So I'm going to go straight, jump to 4.
So the higher number, the finer it gets.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So this looks really nice. You see that? So I'm going to 5. Let it go through again. Then I go straight to 7. You know, 7 is the one the 7 is the one I want. And now I'm going to add some flour on top here, because I need to do that now, because I don't want the pasta afterwards to stick together once I have the pasta made. And now I'm just using a different attachment here. This is the linguine attachment. So I just have to sort of start it in here, like this. Oops, pull it out again. So that's it. So all I have to do now is take a little prepare a little surface. You can take the noodles, put them in here. They essentially, have these machines in everywhere. You see, the nice thing is, once I'm going to show you this again. You see, now you see this is getting wider. But if you fold it like this, you see now you can actually make it always this, make it a little similar. So that's why. You see now it's getting straighter and straighter. So, but with the machine, there's a lot of machines that look like that, and they are just the same. I mean, they're all the same goodness, really. And you can even also buy them for a KitchenAid, attachment. So you don't have to. Or the best thing is you have a kid, doing the work. That's fun, you can make it with your family together. It's a nice thing. So I'll let this through a few times and move again to 2. Once it breaks, if it wants to break, you just fold it again and just put it through. And it's a fun process actually when you look at it, right? It's such an easy, fun process. So before I put the 7,
well, it's much easier than doing it with the rolling pin, right?
Oh yeah, well you can do it with the rolling pin, and the nice thing is you can then
cut it with a knife.
Cut it with a knife, yes.
And you roll it up and cut it with a knife.
And I've been shown a trick how to do that. If once you take a roll and you roll it out, you then put some flour and you roll it together like you would, a roll, and then you just cut the roll. So you don't have to cut all that straight. You just cut the roll, And so here we are. That was perfect.
Number 7.
We are on number 7, yeah. So I'll put this on here. Oh, change the tab. Oops. It's a wonderful mess, It's an out. But now with this machines, they say never wash them. I mean, never wash them. Put them in water, because they don't.
They're made from steel.
Yeah.
And they're not stainless, so
all you do is just wipe them off, dust them off pretty much. I'm gonna clean it a little bit more better later. With a little. But these machines, these machines don't cost a fortune. I have to tell you. If you go to an online store, and you look at them, they're not really expensive.
This is how much noodles we got out of it, right?
Look at this. I think this looks pretty good.
And then the pasta water thing makes a lot of sense because you have a lot of flour in the pasta.
Yes,
water.
absolutely, yes.
So it's going to make a nice sauce.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let's make the sauce with it.
Well, yeah, you think it's a good start?
Yeah.
So I'll turn on the pan. I'm just going to put the butter in here. Melt away. It's just there's nothing more simple than that. But you got to be really careful not to get the butter too hot.
Yes.
That's the only thing that's really important. Yeah.
Great.
We're done cooking. You got any salt in the water, Jens?
Yes, I already have salt in the water. That Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain was nice. When you sang, I really mean it. We never recorded that. I think we should.
Think so?
Yes, I think just because just like we did.
There's some songs that don't need re-recording.
But the thing is, I do actually like the duo versions also, because they're so unpretentious. Right? I mean, they're just just who we are.
Yeah. I'm going to post some of these duo versions that I extracted from the shows.
Yeah.
That I can extract them, so maybe put them on YouTube.
I always hope that it motivates people to pick up an instrument
While they cook.
No, just in general, you know, just get a banjo, get a guitar or something, and just sing a song once in a while. All you have to do is learn 3 chords, and also come to our academy, of course. But you know, you don't have to do that. But just, you know, learn a few songs and a few chords, and you can sing, and it's sometimes so much more rewarding. You know, I think it's much more rewarding than, you know, like somebody said, I would drive 20 miles to be in an old time session, but I wouldn't cross the street to listen to one, you know. So maybe that's a little cruel, but I think playing the music yourself is a lot of fun, you know.
That's what it's all about, really.
And also you can spend a lot of time together without having to talk to each other. It saved a lot of marriages, I believe, maybe, I don't know.
Saved ours.
You know, I mean, Uwe and me, we've been playing music together ever since we were little children, and sometimes when we play, we don't even think about the music anymore. Really, we just sort of play, and we forget, you know, that
we have those pictures in our head,
and we forget that we grew older, I suppose.
yeah,
That just looks good with it.
yeah, sure.
Also,
I'm just gonna wait until it foams up just a tad, and then I'll put the sage in there and take it off the
you also put some salt in there and some cheese for afterwards, right?
See, the cheese is going to be so salty, you don't really have to add much salt to it. You know? You can always add a little salt later, but you know, Parmigiano and
See the water. Now, when you put the pasta in the water, sort of just lightly, you know, sort of fizzle it in here.
not enough flour.
Well, it's enough. It's fine. And that's the nice thing, you know, they're not perfect, and they don't have to be. That's what they are. Okay, good, perfect. I have this thing here. See, Uwe, I have this thing here hidden on the back. Where I can sort of go in here, you know, like this.
So, I think the butter is starting to bubble up a little bit. That's when it's going to add the sage. And funny enough, I'm going to put a little bit of pepper in there, because I'm not going to make it hot enough to burn it, actually. Like that.
And here, a little pinch of salt, right? A little bit.
Just a pinch of salt. Now the degree to that you do with the sage is all up to you. Some people like it crispy, but I don't really like it too crispy, especially in this recipe. What do you think, Jens?
Yeah, just turn it down, I guess, a little bit. You know.
But I can take it off the fire.
That's why I actually do like gas, because you can just turn it off.
Turn it off and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And here you always have to have extra space to move it away.
Yeah. You good like this, right? Can I turn it off? Oh, pretty good.
Yeah, like that. I think it's fine.
That's pretty much it.
That's good, yeah. Once they boil over, you know, we had this test now with the wooden spoon. Let's do this again. It doesn't work. But you can blow into the.
Turn the temperature down a little bit.
That's a good idea.
Move the pot off. Because it's not going to take much longer than what, a couple of minutes? Yes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes?
It's going to take about 4 or 5 minutes. Some people say it takes 3 minutes, but always 3 minutes seems to be a little too not enough. You know, especially for the linguine. It's
also it's what kind of sauce you're going to use. If you have a very runny sauce like a tomato sauce or something, you can finish the noodles cooking in the sauce.
Yes, right.
When you have a lot of water in the sauce, you know.
That's exactly right.
And so, you know, it's always a matter of how much sauce you want to have in that noodle.
Perfect. Let's transfer them over. See how long they are? Doesn't matter if there's plenty of water going in, because that water will just make sauce with the butter. Right, Uwe? Yeah. Now it doesn't look like there's a lot of sauce, but actually the flavor is all that counts. You don't need all that. And now you see that a stick of butter doesn't look like it's a lot for that amount of noodles. No. And who would have guessed? You know, when you looked at the you want to put the cheese into? Yeah, let me yeah, the cheese. You can start putting the cheese in. Actually, we need a little bit more pasta.
Yes. That's it.
So, turn this up. You see, and now it's a little watery down here in the bottom, but just now you heat the pan up, and you see how this turns with everything. It turns into this cream. See this? So we have to just heat it up for a little moment. Look at the mess I made. All the pasta all here.
Cut the tomatoes for garnish. Just quarter them in.
Just quarter. Yeah, just the slices, little tiny slices.
You like the slice?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let me prepare a dish for Melissa. Because Melissa
Who's hungry?
actually, I
I'm
have
starving.
a feeling that Melissa is gonna like this. You know, I do actually have a feeling that Melissa's gonna like this. A lot of things that we made, you know, she didn't really care that much for, but I think this
one-
dish, I have a good feeling, you know, about this. I'm not gonna put too much on it.
Smells delicious.
Oh yeah, it's like
I'm gonna cut these. Those look pretty long.
they are. Those are.
Okay, guys, this is gonna be messy. That is fantastic. Fantastic.
Do you have enough salt?
The salt is perfect. You don't need any more.
Exactly. It doesn't take much salt.
The sage and cheese and butter. I'm inspired. I may have to make homemade pasta now.
Isn't it different? Wonderful, isn't it?
So much better than the box. You
But-
were
but-
saying
but
you
of
can
that-
make it and you can freeze the dough, right?
Yes.
Freeze it. Don't refrigerate it. Okay.
Yeah, freeze it, because otherwise it can get too elastic and it's hard to work with. Well,
Wow.
How do you say in Switzerland?
and
Gute miteinander.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you. That was good stuff.
This was a wonderful recipe, Jens.
Oh, it
Showing
was
how
amazing.
noodles are made. A lot of people don't even know how easy it is. Of course, if this is too much work and you don't want to invest in this, you can just get the fresh noodles that a lot of supermarkets have nowadays.
Or just buy the box.
And just buy the box. So
Buy
yeah,
the box and make a sage sauce.
The
You know,
same- it's so easy, really.
and it's wonderful. You know, it doesn't really take much. It's just great. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. It's just such a pleasure, you know, to be here in the kitchen. Melissa, Uwe, you know, doing the cook shows. It's number 35. You know,
Yes.
I think we have one more with you, Melissa, right? And that will round it up, I guess, with you. But anyway, now don't think about that and just enjoy our lunch.
Thank you so much. And
You all take care. Bye bye.